Good morning. Just hanging out here on campus outside my office. Actually, my office is outside of Palm Walk, but I'm just virtually here. Uh, we're not even supposed to be back on campus until I think July 16th. We'll start getting back anyway. Hope you're all doing well, making progress. We're now getting close to the first week of class. We started class last Wednesday. This is Tuesday, so I guess we could call this the end of our first week, first full week. So I want to show you a few things that I've set up in the grade book to help you track your way through this. How fast do you need to go to finish a class on time? How fast could you go? Because you can finish this course early if you, and you can take the tests early. I want you to do that, but we can't go beyond the dates that we have. I have to post grades by a certain time. And you're all at different places. So let's take a look here. I'm gonna share my screen. And I'm gonna show you, I'm in, currently I have my Canvas course in student view, which has some data I've put in. And what I'm gonna show you is, first of all, what I've done to the grade book. So when you go in, take a look at grades. I've transferred some information from Alex over here, so we'll do some calculations. First thing is the grade book is by default set to look at your due dates, and so things are kind of scrambled around a bit. Most of what I want to look at is the non-graded items. So what I'm going to ask you to do is go here, go to assignment group, and apply it. That will just get it in a nice order that you can see. You'll see things in the same way that I'm going to see it. So here's your tests. We're not worried about that. Topic goals, again, those are going to happen each week. It's Sunday night. You have to have the number of topics completed to get the full 100%. So this week we're shooting for 70%. If you get 35%, then you'll have a 50 here, and so forth. So you do as long as you do something, you will get points here. But the goal is to keep you moving forward, okay? And again, if you have any questions, come see myself or Tristan during office hours. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time either. So participation points, if you get your topic goal, you will get your participation point. Also, if you do enough hours, so that's what that is. And again, if you have any questions on this, just contact me and we can have a discussion about those and see what we need to do. So here's the important stuff that I added. So I've got the number of topics that you've earned. So this is 45, that's me. Earned 45 topics so far out of 362, which means I have 317 left to complete. Again, you'll see yours. Alex will calculate how many topics per hour you're completing based upon your sort of pace since your last knowledge check. Some of you haven't done enough work for it to calculate that. So if you see a 2 there, it is probably because I put that in there as an estimate. It's about the lowest. There are some, again, you'll get to some where it may take longer to do a topic, but some of you, this is an actual figure. And if it's a little low, think about how you're studying. I know the first time I went through this course, when I first was teaching it, they had us work through it all. I know this stuff, which I do. So I was trying to just work through all 362 topics and watch TV at the same time. That was a bad idea. Even though I knew it, I would miss things and have to do it again. So I was not very efficient. I stopped watching TV, got more efficient, and did much better. So think about this. If you feel it's a little low, watch how you're setting your time up, and maybe you can be more efficient. And by being more efficient, you get more done in shorter time, which oftentimes leads to deeper learning. It's not a race to get through here, but try to be efficient and think about some inefficiencies that maybe you could kind of get rid of if need be. Sometimes you need those breaks though, and that's maybe it, is work hard and then take some breaks, get away from the computer, log off, go do something else, and then come back. That's really the best way to learn. In fact, what you do is when you take breaks, you're getting stopping and starting time. And research has shown that you remember best the things that you started with when you learned and the things you ended with. So the more start and stop times you get, actually, the more you're going to remember as well. Okay. Then there's this thing called test one topics. So this is how many topics I have in objective one that are going to be applied to test one. And they've done some redesign of the course since spring. And I really like the way they've done it. Each test has one objective. So it's really nice. So you've got 121 objectives to complete. I've got 40 of them, which means 81. So this is doing the calculations for us. So I got to get 81 topics done. And then what it does is it takes my topics per hour and tells me, hey, you've got 35.4 hours before you're going to, at the current rate, to finish up all the stuff for test one. Now, in these times, I have also included, what did I include? I included 2 hours to study for the test, because once you get all through the topics, you're probably going to want to study from the study guides, which I showed in another video. So look at that announcement to see how to study for the test. But you might, it's not you could study more, you could study less, but I figured I wanted something in there to say, yes, you're going to need to do that. Also, there is 1 hour in there for the problem set. Now, you may get it done in 30 minutes, or you might take 2 or 3 hours. So you've got to kind of see what it takes you, but I put it in there sort of as an average. And same thing with the class time. There's 2 hours to study for each of the 4 tests. There's 1 hour for each of the problem sets, which we've got 3. So those are sort of incorporated in there. Just know as you work through things, it may take you longer or it may take you a little bit less, but I want to give you an estimate. And then what we could do, since there's about 5.5 weeks left in this course, yes, it goes quick. I could take this number and divide it by 5.5, and I did it previously. That gives me that I'm going to need to spend about 25 hours a week. That's about 3.5 hours a day if I work every day of the week, 7 days a week. Now, if I want to take a day off, I got to up that. I got to maybe, instead of dividing by 7, divide by 6 or divide by 5 if you're only going to do weekdays. But kind of get yourself prepared for what you're going to need to do, because some are in a position where you need to be spending 3.5 hours per day. And if you're only spending 1 hour and you're struggling, that's probably why, because you need to spend more time. Others of you, as you become more efficient in your topics, I saw some people working at 10 topics per hour, some 15, and it will change because you'll go through portions that you already know. You'll go through a little bit quicker, they're coming back to you, and then you'll hit topics that are something that's completely new and will take more time. So it's always I'm not a surfer, but I did do some body surfing when I was in Oregon and kid, I found you want to be just a little bit ahead of the wave. Then the momentum of the wave will carry you all the way to shore sometimes. And if you're behind the wave and trying to catch a wave that's moving, I found that to be always hard work. So try to get yourself where you're on top of things, you're maybe a little bit ahead. So those are the things I've put in here to help you track yourself and see how much time you're going to be needing to spend. And then also kind of watching this. I'll do my best. I've got it. It's a manual transfer thing, but I'll do my best to try to update this, if not daily, every couple days, so that you can kind of see live data in here as you work, because you really need to be working every day. So do I. So my goal is to do it every day, because I'd like to see those numbers changing every day, because I'd like to see you keep knocking these topics off. As Tristan said in the announcement, you think about it, you've got 70 topics, that's 10 a day. You really need to be doing that. Now, when you got something you need to take a day off, then the next day you got to do 20 or something like that. Okay, you got to make up for those. This can be done, but the 6-week accelerated course that you've chosen to take is going to require absolute focus and your best effort all the way through. And we're here for you. Both Tristan and I will work with you. We'll help adjust to your particular pace, but just remember we've got these 6 weeks, so let's keep moving at this time. Give it your best at the beginning, instead of saying, well, I'll get to that later and then I can really do good at the end. Don't be the rabbit who just says, oh, I'm fast, I'll just take a nap here. Be the turtle who's keeps on plugging along at the best they can. Okay, and then the other thing we could take a look at is, so remember, change to assignment groups. Let's take a look at the calendar, course calendar here. If I go here, course calendar. So our first test is a little more than a week away. That's what we call the soft deadline. A number of you are actually ready. In fact, if you look at your number of topics needed for objective 1, you will see that you have all of them. You don't need any more. You are actually ready for the test as far as what you've completed the part of ALEKS. So what I'm going to suggest for you is study for the test, take test 1, move forward. And those of you who are ahead of things, we can make adjustments, kind of personalize the topic goals if you take that time, because yes, it's going to take time to study for the test and do the test, which takes away from some of your topic time. But again, the idea is that by completing the topics, you have really been studying for the test as well. So go ahead and do that. Now there is a hard deadline for the test of, I think it's the 23rd. It's in the syllabus. Let's take a look here. Let me bring it over here. So the 16th is what we call the soft deadline. That's when you should be taking it by, with a hard deadline of the 23rd. Means that ready or not, you really need to take it then, because what we find is if you go much further, there's no way you're going to be able to, well, not no way, but it just becomes more and more difficult to finish. And really, objective 1 is, in my view, the hardest part of this course, because it is so broad. It is taking into account things from pre-algebra, intermediate algebra. It's giving you that foundation, but it's a lot of content because it's covering at least 1 or 2 other courses. After that, once you get to objective 2, 3, and the last objective 4, those things are really the heart and soul of college algebra. And so they are more focused, and as you study those, you'll be able to see it. It's not as broad of content. Okay, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover and get you started. The main thing is every day you should come into Canvas, take a look at where your numbers are, what you need to be doing, and map out that. Are you a person who needs 3.5 hours, or is 2.5 going to get you to where you want? Or are you 4 or 5 hours? It's a lot depends on that topics per hour that you're doing and where you are in the course. So we want to work with you as much to personalize this, so that will allow you to be successful in getting through, understanding the content, mastering the content, so that you have this firm, solid foundation when you go on to that next course, either pre-calculus or brief calculus if you're a business major going that route. So anyway, keep up the progress, keep working forward, contact me. I will be contacting you, so will Tristan, to keep you on track. We don't want anyone falling through the cracks, so we want you working daily. We want you making progress, and we want you completing this successfully with a nice, solid, beautiful grade that you are happy with, but mostly that you've learned content that will allow you to move forward in your career path. Okay, so I'll let you go now and take care. Remember, I'm here 8:30 to 9:30, Monday through Friday. working every day. I still work over the weekend, so I'll still keep things posted. But contact me if you need me. We'll make arrangements to meet up and talk. Take care.